was gonna preface something else, but I forgot. But I was saying I got off early. I tried to film this video yesterday and my mic was acting up, so I apologize. I've got the mic in my hand today, so hopefully just for more chill vibe. I hope this adds to your relaxation. Okay, so I live in an HOA community, and basically what that means is it's run by this community. Yes, the community is the people, but not really. And we pay per year to the HOA, and they take care of, well, a lot of HOAs take care of like the land, and stuff like that. The roofs, like all that is taken care of by the HOA, which is fine. It's great, but so basically, like, we have like this much of a backyard, and they take care of our lawn service and our home's outside exterior. And most HOAs come. No thanks. Stop it. Most just lay down. Yeah, good boy, good boy. Most HOAs come with, like, you'll have like a community pool, or most HOAs you'll have like a community pool, or like a tennis court, basketball court, whatever. We don't have any of that. So for what we pay, we should. So that's, not great, but I digress. So we live in an HOA community. We actually live in something called a townhome. I don't know if you guys are familiar. because you're more likely to get your cars like broken into. Like, but hey, do y'all, you know what I mean? I will not do that. But nonetheless, when they first moved in, I was coming home from work, and they had two cars, and they had parked blocking their driveway, but the other car was blocking my driveway. And what pissed me off about it was it wasn't like a temporary thing. They were like, thankfully I got there in time. But if I had been like 2 minutes later, I would have had to go knock on their door. Which is like, what the heck? Like, why would you block someone else's driveway so they can't get in or out? People are just lazy and self-centered, honestly. So I'm pulling in and I'm like, hey, that's, and I'm nice, but I'm like, hey, that's my driveway. And the lady was like, I'm gonna move. And I was just like, yeah, you are. Like, okay. Yeah, I know, because you're in my driveway. But it was just annoying because you were gonna leave your car in somebody else's driveway, like blocking their driveway. Like, that's rude and inconsiderate. And when you live in such a close proximity to others, you have to be considerate. So, and it's happened to my fiance a couple of times as well, and they still park on the street. Like, there's like their driveway and my driveway and like a little stone area in between. There's a fly in here. But they park like on that stone area, like close to our driveway, where we have to kind of meander our car out. But it's not so bad. But you still have to be careful how you back out, or the front end of your car, when you're like turning out, would hit them. So it's still very annoying. But luckily I park on the left side of the garage, so I avoid it. But Leonard has to kind of finagle his way out of the driveway sometimes. Very annoying. But I'm pretty sure he's had to like go to their door and be like, hey, I can't get out of my driveway. But you know how that goes. We're nice until we're not nice anymore, so we'll see. We'll see how that goes. But other than that, like I said, they have kids, so they're a bit loud, but they're fine. Other than that, they drive BMWs, and I'm like, okay, go off. Like, not judging, I don't care, but whatever. So anyway, they're fine. Other than that, there was one other kind of weird thing that happened. The other night I went to Del Taco at like probably like 1:30 in the morning. Oh, by the way, ew, what the hell? Alright, me and this fly are about to go at it. For reference, I live in Georgia, y'all, so I live in Georgia, so it's kind of unavoidable in the summer, but oh my gosh, big yawn, big boy. I forgot what I was talking about. So, I went to Del Taco like 1:30 in the morning. Don't ask me why, okay? I was not live, laugh, loving. So I went by myself too, but I was just chilling, and I came home at like 2, and there was a car right there in the middle of our driveways, like I was saying, that people park. And I pull in my driveway, and I'm like someone's just sitting in their car at 2 a.m. And I'm like, okay. So I'm like hesitant to open my garage she walks up to the neighbor's door, and she's like sitting there for like 3 minutes, and nobody's answering. And in hindsight, it looks like probably like she needed some help or was having like a bad night and wanted to come over and like needed a place to go or something. But they were simply like not answering the door. I know she doesn't live there because I've never seen her car before, but they were just not answering the door. So then I got kind of alarmed because I was like, why aren't they answering? They could have just been asleep, but whatever. So I'm like, Leonard, can you stand by the door? I'm about to pull in the garage. Oh, and then she went back to her car, but then she came back and knocked on the door again. Whatever. It was nothing. I just went in my garage, but I was like, you just have people coming over at 2 a.m. just standing there at the door. Nobody's answering. Like, it came. But other than that, they're fine people. So again, living in an HOA, I have a lot of neighbors, essentially. But the only other neighbor that has been a lot is my neighbor directly across from me. And of course we would get the crazy neighbor, right? Like, of course they have to be across from us. Great, I love that. So this is like the biggest topic of all. Excuse him, he's eating. So basically, these neighbors there's an older man, a son, I'm assuming, and more recently a woman. Gosh, why is my brow like so? Why is my brow so? I need a better eyebrow gel. So yes, a dad, a son, and more recently a woman that is like dating the son. And honestly, I feel bad for the dad because, and I don't say this lightly, but it seems like a moochy type of situation, if you know what I mean. Like, they both, the man and the woman, the younger ones, do not work. And I know that because I was off for the summer, and when I graduated college, I was home and I would sit right here with my window open so my cat can look out, not to be creepy. And I could see them go in and out all day, but never like for a long period of time. And I would just sit here applying to jobs like an 8 to 5 and never saw them working, and they're always here, you know. We're in and out enough to know their life a little bit. Like, they're never gone. So, like, right now they're home. Okay, that was creepy. I admit that was creepy. Sorry. But anyways, I'm like, I need to cut that out. Okay, sorry. Anyways, so they please F around and find out. I want you to try. Like, I will literally hurt you. Oh god, here come the other neighbors in their big, loud SUV. Blah, blah. I seem like such a negative Nancy. Actually, I'm surprised they weren't loud. Anyway. So, I can see him walking to my house from his driveway across the road to mine. So I'm like running down the stairs, like ready to fight this is right by our living room. So my boyfriend and I heard something outside, so we're like peeking outside because there was somebody screaming. So we thought it was like a domestic violence situation. We go outside, they're like making sure everything's okay, whatever. And my boyfriend's like, go inside. So we pop outside and we're listening, like eavesdropping. And my fiance's like, go inside. And I'm like, okay. And so he ignited my fight, flight, or freeze response. And I was freaked out. And I was like, okay. Da 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 da. He was like, it was behind our fence in the backyard. And I was like, so I'm like making sure all the windows are locked, making sure the door's locked, making sure, and I'm like, let's go upstairs, me, you, and the cat. Like, let's go upstairs and hide out for a while. That's a huge trauma response that I have, by the way. But basically he said that, and what he thinks happened was, we live off of a huge highway, right? Like a huge highway. It's not like a road, it's a highway. And basically the way it is like the highway's up on a hill. So in theory, we have like these large fences covering our backyard, but then there's like another big gate, and essentially if those weren't there, a car could theoretically come off the highway and like roll into our house. But the gates are kind of protective, but it's very close. Someone could just walk down the hill and they're in our yard, which I know that could happen like anywhere, but that being so close to like a busy highway is kind of scary to me anyway. So basically what he thinks happened is there was someone either hurt or drunk or mentally unstable that had walked from the highway, probably, that's the assumption, and walked down, and they were yelling like, keep running, but the person wasn't running, and there was nobody else. The person was like meandering, like not running. It was like, keep running. And so we were terrified. I was terrified. He wasn't scared. He was like, my fiance was like, why are you freaking out? We're inside. And I was like, there's a dude behind our fence. And he was like, yeah, but he's not in our yard. And I was like, yeah, I guess so. But our yard's like this big, so kinda. But yeah, guys, that's it. Not too much happens here, but with anywhere we live in such close proximity to people are annoying and people are inconsiderate sometimes, and it just is what it is. So this video was in good fun. I love where I live, but not everybody can get along. So I love you guys. I thank you for watching, and thank you again for 830 subscribers. If you watched all the way to the end, please comment a cheese emoji because I'm about to go eat some cheese. I love you guys. I'll see you in my next video.